the rhythm and the rhyme as we talk about the fisticuffs once again. That's right. This is the Logan Summit Show. And I am, of course, Logan Summit. That's me right here with the beautiful mustache. Most of my power is derived right here from this stash. Now, this show is brought to you by Newer. Go over to newer.com. Whether you're a pro creator, an amateur creator, it doesn't matter. You're going to get a great deal on pro gear at amateur pricing. Go to newer.com. Use code Logan. You'll save 20% and you'll thank me in the morning. Without further ado, let's get started with a man who's got a name that just doesn't roll off the tongue, but it is amazing. Let's make sure I get it right. This is my main man, my new best friend, Cleotis Pendarvis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing? How you doing?
I am amazing, but better yet, how are you today?
I'm good. It's another day to it. Living in the world, man. Blessed.
Yeah, you out there in LA?
I'm actually up north, about an hour and a half away from LA in Lancaster, California.
Well, good you got out of the city because the traffic is just a traffic jam. Anytime I'm in LA, I'm reminded on why I don't live there.
Man, you know what's crazy? They making the traffic out here bad also. It's worse.
No.
The freeway. For real, they closed down 2 lanes, 2 or 3 lanes, which now only gives us 2 lanes, so it'd be hectic.
Yeah, I guess stay in your lane. You've only got 2 to choose from at this point. So those choices have dwindled just a touch. Now, my friend, you have been around the block. They might even call you a journeyman at this point. You are 38 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. You are 22, 24, and 2. That means that you have had 48 fights. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And what's crazy about your story and what I want to hear more about is you went from street fighting to being a pro fighter. Talk about growing up on the streets and how that changed your mentality and what was the catalyst to finally get you in the gym and train?
Growing up in Los Angeles is definitely not for the weak. I'm pretty sure anyone would say that come from I would say the hood or poverty infested areas and things of that nature. And they would say it's no joke growing up. So you're gonna either be the prey or the predator. So every day, basically, I'll say from about 5 years on up, 5 years old on up, you're gonna be fighting. You're gonna have to prove yourself. Someone's always gonna test you. It's just like that. And just coming up, growing up on the east side of Los Angeles, fighting that day, the same day, actually, I had 3 fights. 3 fights.
Wow.
Literally. And walked into the gym, and the coaches and everybody knew me in the gym and stuff. And they was like, "Hey, Mookie, get up out of here, man. Get your little bad butt up out of here." I'm like, "Nope. The only way I'll leave if y'all let me fight him." And at this time, the kid was the best in the state, and his name was Mikey. And we ended up being good friends after that. But more than anything, they was like, "Okay, cool." So they put the gloves on me and put the headgear and stuff on. I look real weird. So we got in there, and I did my thing, though. He dropped me, but I did my thing, and they was like, "What the heck?" And they was like, "Have you ever fought before?" I was like, "Nah, man, I just fight in the streets." And they was like, "What?" I was like, "All right, keep coming back." And at this time, I was around 8 years old. So from there, it was just history. That's when I started boxing. I had my first fight 2 months later. My mom and a friend of hers paid for my license. And I had my first fight against a kid named Pee Wee from Huntington Park. I'll never forget that. And he actually already had a few fights over me. And everyone was looking at me, laughing and stuff. But man, when that bell rung, I went out there and gave it to him. For real.
Now, what was it? What was it like going from street fighting to boxing? I mean, it's a different. It's the same warrior mentality, which I know that you're a firm believer in. Talk about that warrior mentality and what the difference is between street fighting and being a pro fighter.
The difference is technique and skill. The art part of boxing, where you have to really be able to know what you're doing in there. You have to set traps. You have to be basically all around fighter. even when you're in trouble, you got to know when to engage, when not to engage. You have to see shots coming. You have to pick shots. You have to pick guys off. It just comes with just knowing that you have to be a real professional in there. And the big difference is just the technique. And street fighting, there's no rules. Boxing, there's plenty of rules.
Yes,
So
there is.
that's mainly what it is.
What's the cheapest shot you've ever seen on the street?
Um, Man, I seen a lot of cheap shots on the street. I can't even say there's like a real like cheapest one. It's just that if you're in the street fight, anything goes. So,
All right, I
you
got one
know,
for you. Tell me if you've seen this before. My favorite street fight. I used to run a nightclub, and these two dudes wanted to fight in the club, and I had the bouncers kick them out, and they took it to the streets. I got to give them
yeah.
credit, but this one dude took off his belt, wrapped the loose end around here, and started throwing the belt buckle like it was a whip at this other dude, and the whole crowd that was watching went, "Nah, man, what are you doing? That you
Oh,
can't be doing
that's
that."
crazy.
You ever seen
That's
anything like
crazy.
that?
You know what, man? I had a situation where I was fighting a cat, and I actually tried to knock him out with a brick.
All right, Debo. Yo, your new nickname is not Mookie, or well, your middle name is Mookie, but now I'm just gonna
Yeah,
call
I
you
tried to, I
Debo,
tried
bro.
to get him. I tried to get him go.
I bet you he ran. When he saw you pick up the brick, he took off in the other direction, I'm
Actually,
assuming.
one of my good friends, William, he was like, "No, no, Mookie, no, 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 no." He grabbed me and stuff. I'm like, "No, man, let me go." He got me started now, but yeah, I didn't get to hit him though.
Did he pull
Yeah.
out the John Witherspoon on you? He's like, all you need is these, son.
See, my thing is like honestly, growing up in Los Angeles, it ain't, dude. You want people to know, like, just leave me alone. It's not that I'm going around looking for trouble. I want to be a part of trouble. I'm not. Nah, that's definitely not what I want. But if it comes to me, then it's like I just don't want to continue to have to deal with this. So you kind of like want to send a message in so many ways. It's kind of messed up to say, but it is what it is.
Hey, the streets are the streets are the streets. Now, speaking of hard times, man, my friend, with your 4 to 8 fights, recently you are in a hard fought battle right now. You are on an 8 loss streak.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about what it takes as a 38-year-old to get back in the ring, motivate yourself day in and day out to train when you've been on the losing side of a lot of matches at this point.
Well,
What gets you up in the morning?
I know that I didn't lose the fights. The politics of boxing. You're dealing with guys, you fight them in their hometown, and basically all they have to do is just survive. And if the fight is, all they got to do is throw punches and just look busy and stuff of that nature, but they don't really have to use anything. And first of all, I came up from 140 pounds all the way up to
Yes.
168 and 175.
Right.
And I've been fighting a lot of these guys in their backyard, and majority of them I did beat, but I lost to. And it looks messed up because, man, you have to be there to know what I'm saying. I mean, from dropping guys in 4 round fights and the fight not even close and still losing to actually having guys knocked out on their feet in a state where there's no standing 8 count and they end up giving a guy a standing 8 count and then stopping the fight for an additional 15 minutes, literally. And that they didn't show it. The fight is up on YouTube, but they didn't show that part on the tape because they know like that's wrong. And even in Washington, man, I've been done wrong across the board. But what keeps me motivated is knowing that I can fight, knowing that I am beating these guys. And I'm the type of person where I don't let like fans and all that stuff get to me. I don't let the critics get to me. I take criticism as it is. Hey, it is what it is for sure, and I respect everybody's opinion. But to say it like this, I just don't give a fuck because mainly people will always be there to try to break you and destroy you and make you feel like you're any less than anybody else. And the more you indulge in that type of atmosphere and then people control you and your aura and things of that nature, then you'll always be trying to fight for a position. I know my position. I know what I am. I know what I have done. I have plenty of accolades where I have 5 belts. I've been rated in the world. I done headlining Showtime cards. I done been in count with De La Hoya, Canelo, everybody. Why anybody that, especially back in the day, that was fighting Pacquiao or Zabdullah, I was the man that was in camp with them for sure.
All
You
right. So
know,
who's been your favorite mentor in these camps? Who's been your favorite fighter to go into camp with?
Shane Mosley.
Yeah,
Shane
Sugar
Mosley.
Shane Mosley. All right.
Shane Mosley was solid. You know, real professional all around, and definitely a good heart and gentleman. You know, and I'm always have respect for Shane Mosley for the way he treated not just myself, but me, Austin Trout, Gato Figueroa, and Joaquin Zamora. Shane Mosley is a real class act.
I've met him once. Very, very nice human being.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot
real
of
class
fun.
act.
Just a nice, fun dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, and he, you know, and he a man. You know, like people kind of take people kindness and stuff for weakness, but if you get to that side of Shane, you and me, you'll see something. You know?
yeah, he might be called Sugar, but
Yeah,
it's not
it gets
anything
ugly.
nice, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so on June 14th, you're going to be fighting Tyler Albright,
Hmm.
and it's time to get back to your winning ways, and forget about this, that, and the other. What's some of the things that you've seen in Tyler's game that you're going to be able to exploit on June 14th, so that your hand is going to be raised?
He too slow for me, and he just don't have what I have. I'm a very skillful fighter, man, and I mean that in a humble way. I mean, to be rated number 7 in the world and all that stuff, you know, that's in the world, and I was number 1 in the United States, and this is for years. So, and to have to go and count with these Hall of Famers and things of that nature, and stand on that, and they know who Cleotis Pendarvis is for sure. There's
Yeah,
not one guy that I have went to count with that don't remember me.
I'm sure they send you Christmas cards, right?
Uh huh.
Exactly, exactly. Um, So you seem pretty confident. Have you seen anything from Tyler that you're a little bit worried about?
I don't worry about no fighter. If I do my
Okay.
part, we got it's a fight. So it's
Yeah.
like you get what I mean. I don't mean that in a way of like, oh well, this guy just nah. I just don't worry about the fighter. I worry about what I'm doing and the things I have to do in there because skills pays the bills and it's chess not checkers and
That's true.
that's just that.
Well, it is the sweet science, that is for darn sure. Now, what you're only 5'7", correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you have, like you said, you went from 145 all the way up to 175. What has that been like for your career and for you?
It's been a journey. And like when I
Yeah.
first started fighting in the 60s, 68, 75, it was a little rough. You know, those guys, everyone's always a lot bigger, taller,
Mhm.
reach and stuff of that nature. So you have to adapt to that. And but I done figured out some things and stuff. So now I'm comfortable here. I done fought some decent names. I done fought like Calvin Henderson and stuff, and he fought David Morrell, and
Yeah.
I actually thought I beat Calvin Henderson. We fought in if anything a draw. We fought in Arkansas, which is
Okay.
where he's located and stuff. So you know it's just that it's just been able to adapt, and it's definitely has its it's obstacles where you'll be like,
Mhm.
you have to, it's because there's levels to it. So you have to really know what you're doing and really adapt and press it's you always have to press the bigger guys to take away their reach and stuff, and not sit on the outside because some guys will pick you apart.
Yeah, now do you go back and watch video of Mike Tyson in his prime and how he was able to get on the inside and
Yeah,
with much bigger opponents? Is that somebody that
yeah.
you look to?
No, I actually watch a lot of the White Muhammad Kawi. Yeah, I watch Kawi a lot, and mainly the White Muhammad Kawi and James Toney and Montel Griffin.
Now, somebody who came from the streets and into the pro scene, as you were coming up, were you ever enamored with Kimbo Slice while he was doing kind of the same thing down in Florida, making his way to the backyards and then into the octagon?
I mean, nah, I respect Kimbo. I mean, may he rest in power and things of that nature. And definitely, man, I respect his whole get down because he was going into, in Florida, just hey, come on, let's get it. We go
Yeah.
fight over here. Come on, where you at? And he was knocking cats out, and he turned that into actual career and made millions. I don't know if he made like millions off of that, but I know he made hundreds of thousands. So at the same time, that still is a blessing, and that's someone that you can actually look to for some type of way of being able to go into the atmosphere of fighting and make bread, make money
I mean,
by choosing to do it your way.
yeah, if you're going to get punched in the face, the best thing that you can do is support your family. You know,
For
I
sure.
mean, it's just,
Come on,
it's,
man.
I mean, if you're going to get punched in the face, you might as well put bread on the table, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's boxing nowadays though. It's watered down. I
It is.
respect everything as far as like what Jake Paul and all those cats are doing and stuff, but they didn't they didn't took the actual art away and making it like more entertainment and
So,
stuff.
so
And
So I think I understand you because I kind of felt the same way when it first came out. I respect that the promotion and the eyes that they're bringing to the sport because sport got way too convoluted with belts and weight classes. It's very
yeah,
hard for the
for
average
sure.
fan to keep up with everything.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you like the eyes and all of that, but the watering down of the actual sport.
Exactly. The skill set, the pain, the suffering, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the fighters that really die for this, all those cats, the boxing gods, like the people that really stood for this, that this is what we know, this is what we live for, this is what we die for. In spite of anything that I have ever been through in my life, any woman, kids, etc., boxing is like the the guy hold to be like, hey, you know what? That's something that I can actually take with me to the grave and be proud of. Like you can, you will say like your family and all this and that, man, but I left a stamp on earth doing this. When you go back and look in the history books, who was the USBA champion and fought for the IBF title eliminator and thing WBF champ and things of that nature, you're gonna see my name. And you can look up Cleotis Pendarvis, the good, bad, and ugly about him. Whether I know my record is flipped upside down, but like I said, the fighters' mentality, life.
Yeah, that warrior's mentality, the fighter's
Yeah.
mentality. Now, so it sounds like where you're coming from, you don't necessarily see this as a must win. Obviously, you have the mentality that you're going to win, but I feel as though if you lost this, you're not going to retire tomorrow.
No, I'm not gonna retire tomorrow. I mean, but I'm not gonna lose neither. Like I don't never
Ah,
go into my fights planning to lose. You
well,
get
yeah,
me? And,
right.
and and any fight, I don't care what it is. If things happen the way they happen, I can't control that. I
Mhm.
can't control these commissions. I can't control what they do out there in their state for their fighter. I just don't have control of that. But I know that when I sign that contract, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna lace up and I'm gonna lace up my shoes, lace up my gloves, and I'm gonna go in there and give it me. And that's that.
So how are you treating this training camp differently than you have in the past? Is there anything that you've been working on? Uh, Maybe something that you saw in your game besides what Dana White always says, keep it out of the judge's hands. Besides
Yeah.
that, obviously, what are some of the things that you're working on differently?
Just stand, relaxing there. That's the main thing. Cause no matter what type of shape or conditioning you get in, if you're not relaxing in the ring, you're definitely going to get tired. And you're not going to be able to withstand those punches either because you're too tense. So just relaxing and just going out there having fun and doing me. Just what I do. I fight for a living, and you know, um, I plan to come out with the W. I'm going for the knockout. I've been scheduled to fight a few times this year,
Yeah, I saw that.
and a lot of things have came up, personal and during sparring. I done got injuries and stuff. At 38, so it's like,
Yeah.
But people like a lot of these promoters and matchmakers, man, nowadays in this business, it's like dealing with a jealous female, you know, for real. Because like they say some stuff and try to put salt in your game and all that stuff, and it's just like, dude, you're not living my personal life. You don't know what I'm going through and what I'm dealing with. So for you to speak on something just because of your own personal opinion, that shows you're a bitch to me.
Yeah, somebody, I do commentating for USA Boxing and a bunch of other uh, promotions, and somebody called me opportunistic the other day, and I said yes because I like the roof over my head and I love to eat dinner every night. You know
Come
what I'm
on, man.
saying?
Who's not an not opportunistic person in this world? When we look at the world, the world is full of opportunity. Who
Yep.
wouldn't take advantage of that?
Exactly. If somebody puts a plate in front of you, are you going to send it back? No, you eat it because you're
You
hungry.
don't eat.
Everybody's got to
Yeah.
eat.
You just don't want to. It's just some people just lose the dignity and things of how they got there, and that's what I see a lot in inside of the ring and outside of the ring, where you see people will sell their souls just to get to the next level, and I don't mean like literally to speak upon that, but it's the real. You know what I mean? And if that's how a person want to get there, that's cool. That's on them for sure. But man, you lose a lot doing that, and you lose a lot of. And a lot of people don't know how some people that got to there. Some people have went through the trenches, and then some other people just did it by who knows, stepping on whoever they had to get there. But that's the in a way, that's the nature we live in this world, this country, in America. Shit, man. Like, come on now. On the elite is the elite for a reason.
Yeah.
And no matter what they do to have to stay at the elite level, that's what they're going to do. And that's with anything across the globe.
I can't disagree with you on that, my friend. You have hey, you're 38 years old and I'm 46. So as you get older, you become aware of certain things. Less things
Yeah,
bother you, more other things bother you more that didn't before. It's this
yeah,
weird. And then you get, you know what? You know how I knew I was becoming old is I left the house one day and I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh, I forgot to shave my ears today. That was one way. When EDM first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is video game music with beats behind it."
yeah.
I mean, there's certain things as you get
Yeah, it's a
older.
lot of things that let them know that we get no, for sure, definitely now. I mean, for real, dude. I'll be like, you know what? Well, that's not for me. But hey, if this is, I guess if they like it, I love it.
Well, here's something that I've talked about with some of the older fighters. After about the age of 30, you get that old man strength. You get that strength where you can just box out anyone in the gym on your pickup
Yeah,
basketball game. Now,
yeah.
did you feel that, and how did it impact your career? And is that one of the reasons that you moved up in weight classes?
That's definitely one of the reasons I moved up in weight classes because being able to know the ring, and knowing your opponents, knowing your fighters. Learning from a lot of Hall of Fame fighters and greats over the years. So yeah, definitely 30 and up, man. A lot of people nowadays 30 and up is young. It's not the way it used to be. I mean, because you got so many supplements and things and holistic things that's transpiring across the globe where people we finding more out about health on a natural level and things that keep us young forever. And if you don't destroy your temple, then age ain't nothing but a number.
All right, you know what? I love that because as I get older, I think to myself, Yeah, I'm using a lot more moisturizer than I used to these days. I'll tell you that much. Moisturize
Yeah.
early and often. All right, you're going to be fighting Tyler Albright on June 14th. And we're not done yet. We're not done quite yet. We've got another segment to go. But before we get to that segment, I want to give you some time. This is your time. You can talk about anything you want. You can thank your mom. You can thank promoters. You can thank sponsors. You talk about video games, movies, your kids. I don't care what you talk about. This is your time.
Basically, man, I just want to thank anyone that supports me on a real level and a pure level where they really support me and they mean it through goodness and because energy don't lie, so I've been through some things and I'm still stepping. So at the end of the day, like, you do, like you said, you mentioned earlier, as far as when you get older, you go through things and a lot of things don't bother you. So yeah, I just want to shout out everybody that really support me on the level and support any fighter and man in general that's trying. A lot of people forget about the trying man. They looking at everything that's transpiring across the world and not even understanding that a lot of that shit is an illusion anyway. And they forgetting about the real man antics and things that we have to endure to even stay relevant and
Oh, it's
in the
trust me.
in the public's eyes,
Yeah.
and even relevant to our own. Nowadays they making it all about what you have. They not. It's not about being building an empire, a real family, and things of that nature. That's what I'm still about. I'm still about that. I'm still about love. I'm still about appreciation, and I'm still about family. And I'm just not trying to indulge in the way that this world is turning out. But you have to live in it. But you don't have to be. You don't have to claim that type of energy. I come from the old school. I'm an '80s baby, and I stand on that, and I'm gonna be that till I go. And majorly, I just any young man out there that's going through something, um, find an outlet somewhere where you can speak and be heard. It's a lot of people out there got a lot of things bottled up in their soul, and people don't want to be an ear for them. And it's always the ones next to you that you're really trying to reach out to. And hey, man, but they use any other information that you give them against you. So, like, to get on, a different topic, like I want to encourage the young men and women out there to continue to prevail through adversity because after every storm is sunshine, and that's a fact. You know what I mean? So,
I believe.
praying for
Hey,
myself.
I always
Go ahead.
say if it wasn't for the rainy days, we could never truly appreciate the sunny ones.
Can never appreciate the sunny ones, and
Right?
we got to appreciate the rainy days also, because that's what builds character.
Yeah.
It builds character and it builds strength. So you'll never know how strong you are until you actually have to come off that wall fighting. Tell the it's man shit, man. Living ain't no joke, but I love it. I love the fact that I'm becoming the person that I'm becoming. Because honestly, at 38, being from South Central Los Angeles, I lost a lot of people that I love, including my mom, including my brother, including my dad. And that's to mention the ones I love, like, off top. I got cousins who I just seen go, and my granddad used to tell me, say, you live long enough, you're going to see a lot of people go. So, like, yeah, man, hey, enjoy the air that you breathe. And that's my main thing. Any negative person or negative energy,
Mm-hmm.
get them the fuck away from you, man. You don't have to have them around you. You don't. There's like a lot of people be keeping people around them that just create more darkness in their life. You got to be careful with that shit, man, because it attracts nothing but evilness.
Yeah. Hey, you're not. You're definitely not wrong there. You got to have the right people around you. If you don't have the right support group, you're never going to be able to go anywhere because you can't just do it by yourself.
Nah, you
It's
really
nice
can't.
to it's nice to think that you can, but in actuality, you need the right support system, and I'm glad that you keep that in the back of your mind. All right, well, let's get to it. It's time to play the game that all the kids are talking about on the playground. It's time for 5 questions. It's exactly what it sounds like, my man. And it is brought to you by Newhouse. If you're sitting in a gaming chair, you're doing your butt wrong, go over to newhouse.com. Check out their awesome office decor, home decor. They've got seats that will make you smile. Trust me on this one. I know what I'm talking about. Newhouse.com. Use code LoganRadioRocks to save you a little bit of that dough. Trust me, you're going to need it. All right, here we go. First question. May the 4th be with you was the other day. Old Star Wars or new Star Wars? Which do you prefer?
I like them both.
Oh, okay, so do I.
If I was a preferred one, I'll say the new, just because of everything that's it's all the new. How can I say it, like advanced technology, as far as like movies and things that comes with it, rather than before. It was attractive at that time because we was at that time, but now, it's just so much more better, the graphics and everything.
Yeah, I remember when Tomb Raider, the video game, first came out, and I was like, graphics are never going to get better than this. Oh, my God. It's real.
They got 100 times better.
I mean, now it's just night and day between that.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you like the new shows that have been coming out on Disney Plus? Do you like the new Star Wars TV shows?
I'm more so like the new Star Wars. Like I like Harry Potter a lot. I always
so do I.
Yeah, I watch Harry Potter and stuff of that nature.
Are you excited about the reboot that's going to be happening?
I mean, always. My daughter, the one got me hooked to it. My oldest daughter, that's 20.
Okay.
So I like watching. I'm a firm believer in magic anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what? There are some things that we can't understand in this world, and we might as well call them magic. One of my favorite. It's kind of magic here. We'll talk about ghosts for a hot second. One of my favorite. Albert Einstein was once asked if he believes in ghosts, and he said, "I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not, but there's a certain amount of energy that, as we know, can neither be created nor destroyed that leaves your body when you pass on." And he says, "Where does it go?" And so there's a certain amount of magic in that as well, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's different dimensions. Some souls actually are stuck down here, even when they don't ever get to really make it. Those are the lost souls. And then you have the ones that be able to go on to the other dimensions. And you got the void. You have different ones, so you just don't know.
Very spiritual person I sense over there. All right, yeah. Question number 2 of 5 questions. You're originally from LA. Let's talk. LA Raiders or LA Rams?
Rams.
Just because now, since I live in Vegas, they're my team. Look, we stole Oakland from you. We stole the Raiders. We're going to take the chess team from LA County next.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, take it all then. They gonna keep letting it go.
Yeah, I mean, they're making it so easy. Everybody's like, "Oh, just go to Vegas. It's cool."
Man, right? Hey, but Vegas, I lived out there for 5 years, so I love Vegas.
So do I, man. I love living out here. It's one of the best decisions I made.
I love Vegas. It's real smooth out there. I mean, you got, but like it's cool, man. It's really relaxing. A lot of people, everybody have their own little get down or opinion about different places, but I like Vegas a lot.
Yeah, my favorite thing about Vegas is everybody has a side gig. You're in an Uber or whatever, and he's on the phone trying to make deals for like patio furniture.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Oh, hey, to this day, I bet.
Yeah, right. All right, question number 3. Here's an inner question. You're gonna have to look into yourself for this one. What is the hardest advice to take? The hardest advice that you've had to take?
Love thy enemy.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that is difficult to
Yeah,
do. But when you're fighting
that's
somebody, they're only
that's
your
hard.
enemy while you're in the ring, right?
Hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah, you don't seem like a guy who gets out of the ring and holds
Yeah,
grudges.
that's not at all. I mean, hey, but when we in the square circle, man, dude, I'm like Satan.
Well, you need to be. You're going to
For
need to be.
real.
All right, question number 4. What was the best lesson that you learned from being on the streets?
How to deal with death.
That's
How to deal
solid.
with death. That if you don't learn how to deal with people that you love leaving you, it could destroy you, and it breaks a lot of people. I see it have broken a lot of people that I have grown up with and stuff. So like, it got to me when, man, especially like it never gets old. So like when I lost my, like, even just yesterday, I was talking to my brother Pitcher, just like, man, I just miss you, bro. And my brother been dead since 2009. So like, yeah, it's just how to deal with death for real.
That's a really strong answer and good advice for everybody out there. You're right. If you don't know how to, if you can't be able to move on from that, it's going to eat you up inside.
It tears you up. What happened was, it was earlier this year. I just told myself like, hey, I talk to my brother. I was like, man, I gotta move on. Like I can't continue to let this hinder me. Because this the situation, the way that it happened, and man, so yeah, I have to dig deep down inside. I got 4 kids, 2 daughters, 2 sons. So more so, it's about them, and that's what it is. So
Yeah.
I have to make a decision to free myself. You got to free your mind, body, soul, and spirit. And it took since '09, since it first happened, to this year to do that.
Well, En Vogue knew what they were talking about back in the day. That's some good advice right there. And the last
Yeah.
question of 5 questions. This is a hard one. A lot of athletes, and I'm not saying you in particular, but you're getting older there, and I'm sure you've thought about it from time to time, and we talked a little bit about it earlier. But a lot of athletes, Michael Jordan included in this, a lot of athletes don't know when it's time to step away. How will you know when it's your turn to become a coach or move on to the next part of your career? I know you're not ready yet, but how will you know when you're going to be ready for that?
Time will tell. That's when you'll know. Time will tell. You definitely will feel it in the ring. You'll feel it, and it just be that time. You don't want it to be a very unfortunate lesson. So that's my thing. Like you said, I've been on the losing streak, but dude, if I was getting my ass whooped like that, honestly, I would have been stopped.
Right.
You get me? So it's
Yeah.
like, because it's, come on, man. Like I still work. I have a job and stuff. I'm making money, so it's not like that. I'm doing this just for the money. Like, of course I won't make my money, but I'm making money outside of this too. So my thing is, I just love to fight. Like I said, when all else failed me, man, I had boxing for real.
Well,
Everybody walked out on me, all that shit, man. Just turned their back on me. The only thing I was able to come back to and turn to was boxing.
boxing keeps kids off of streets, and
Man, for
keeping
real.
kids off of streets keeps kids off of drugs, and drugs are bad. Kids don't do drugs.
Not at all.
Exactly. You got to keep your body a temple. I heard you say that earlier, and I know you
Yeah.
believe it. All right. You will be taking on Tyler Albright on June 14th. And Tyler, you better watch out, my friend. You better watch out because you're ready to grab that win. Any predictions on how the fight will end? What round? And will it be a knockout?
I'm looking to stop him between the fourth and sixth round. It's only a
All right.
6 round fight, but I'm gonna break on the first three
Okay.
and then look to stop him.
Yeah, remind them when you hit them really hard and you see that look on their face, that look of grimace on their face. Remind them that if we were in the schoolyard, you'd be taking his sneakers and his lunch money right now.
More so than lunch money. I don't like everybody's sneakers.
Yeah, you got to keep them clean for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right?
All
For
right.
real. So
Well,
I'll take the lunch money to buy some more.
I like that, man. Well, best of luck to you on June 14th. I don't think you need it. I know that you're going to train hard. Keep your head in there, and you're fighting for more than yourself. You're fighting for your family.
Exactly.
Shout out to your lovely kids, and
Thank you.
and thank you for your time today. Look, this is my new best friend and the man who's going to break his losing streak coming up on June 14th. This is Cleotis Debo Mookie Pendarvis.
Yes, sir.
All right, my friend. Thank you for
All right,
being
boss.
here. And thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
Be good to yourself and be kind to others. Pay it forward, play it forward. Rock like a
You
party
already
star.
know.
Party like a rock star. Smile strong, laugh loud. And last but not least, please like, follow, and subscribe. We'll be back with another interview today. Oh, yeah, we're just getting ramped up. We've got tons of interviews all
Okay.
week long. And remember, everybody loves a good fight. We'll see you
Yes,
next
sir.
time.
Blessed day.
Hey, thank you for that.